Hello, guys, and welcome back to the FPL Duo. We are back for another stream, and it is the first knee-jerk live reaction stream of the new season 23-24. So yeah, glad to be back on this Sunday evening. Obviously, we've just watched the first round of fixtures. I've enjoyed it so far. Obviously, Liverpool have just finished their game against Chelsea in that 1-1 draw. We're going to speak about all the results from game week 1 and talk about all the big talking points. And we're also going to discuss, look ahead to game week 2 and any early thoughts leading up to that. How you doing, Jordan? Is everything good? And have you enjoyed, watching the football again this weekend?
Yeah, the opening weekend games have been really exciting, very high scoring, and yeah, every game was full of surprises and intense moments in it. So yeah, it's been a pretty good weekend for the first game week of football.
Yeah, I agree. I've actually enjoyed, football's back, and we can just start enjoying it again. And yeah, FPL again is back, and let's get into it. So, as you guys can see from the screen, I've got my team up there. And if you guys are joining in, please, as always, make sure you do drop a like. So let's start with how it went. So in goal, I do have Pickford. Now, annoyingly, Pickford did concede, which was a bit annoying. I think it was his first shot that he conceded in that loss to Fulham, the 1-0 loss. So disappointed with Pickford. Thought he could maybe nick a clean sheet. I think Decordivo Reed scored. And yeah, he ends up losing the clean sheet. So blank from Pickford. Moving on, though, to the back three, and a lot more success there. So we'll start off with Estupiñán. Now, I thought Estupiñán was brilliant, really. I know he's highly owned, so a lot of you have him in your team. So 7 points, it's not bad. You can't really argue too much there. And Brighton going away with a 4-1 victory over Luton. So yeah, brilliant to see. And assist from Estupiñán, and also the lovely bonus points. The 3 bonus points for Estupiñán, and yeah, you can't really go wrong with 7 points on the opening day. Obviously, Liverpool have just finished their game as well against Chelsea, and as you can see from my defense, I have Ben Chilwell, and Ben Chilwell, I thought he was very good today. He gets the assist, which was nice to see, obviously from an FPL point of view, not as a Liverpool fan, but he did pick up an assist for the goal. He also got the 2 bonus points, I believe. So that was nice as well. And for those that didn't watch the game, Chilwell actually scored as well. So they got the ball in. He took it around Alisson very coolly, and he slotted it in. And I thought, here we go. I've got Chilwell. He's just scored. But it was ruled out for offside, and correctly so. But I am very happy to own Chilwell, and yeah, I do think he could be a nice pick going forward. Moving on to maybe the big shock of the weekend, and that is Gabriel. Now, where do we begin with this one? Because while I was doing the stream on, was it Friday, deadline stream, someone actually put in the chat that Andy, Let's Talk FPL, has said he took Gabriel out of his team and put Saliba in. And then I didn't make too much of it. But obviously, as time goes on, you realize when the match comes closer to the time, leaks come out, and then we hear that Gabriel is gonna be on the bench, which I was surprised to see Gabriel on the bench. It doesn't seem like it was an injury, so it has to be tactical reasons, which does worry me going forward. But we will come on to what to do with Gabriel if you do own him. But yeah, it was annoying to see that him being benched for Thomas Partey, who was playing right back. So he comes on for the last few minutes and gets me the blank, which obviously isn't great. But yeah, let's move on to the midfield, which are a lot more points there as well. Mbeumo, let's start with him. So obviously Brentford played out a 2-2 draw, an entertaining game against Spurs. And the reason why I got Mbeumo in the team in the first place, obviously because he's a penalty taker. And as soon as he stepped up for that penalty, when they won the penalty, I knew Mbeumo was going to take, and that's why I've got him in my team. And yeah, very happy to see him get the goal at 6.5 million. Good value for money. frustrating thing about Mbeumo is he really, really should have had another goal. Like, he missed an absolute sitter. I think Rico Henry puts a lovely ball in, cross from the left-hand side, and Rico Henry, all he had to do was put his foot in it, but I think it hit his shin or his thigh. Not his thigh, sorry, his calf, and he just went over the bar. So Mbeumo really should have had 2 goals, but 7 points, I'm not going to complain too much. Rashford and Bruno Fernandes play tomorrow night against Wolves, so obviously we'll have to wait and see how they do tomorrow evening. Moving on to Saka, again 10 points, which is a very nice return from him. Obviously scored a brilliant goal, which was nice to see, and also obviously the 3 bonus points, which again is another plus for Saka. I'm very happy with the 10 points. And yeah, that was good to see from Arsenal, obviously getting the job done, 2-1 at Forest. Finally, moving on to Martinelli, who does pick up the 5 points due to the assist. Brilliant assist for those that haven't watched it. A lovely piece of skill. And obviously passes, I think, to Nketiah, who goes on and nets the goal. So, yeah, lovely assist from Martinelli. And I'm very happy with the 2 Arsenal players I picked because they both got returns. Moving on, finally, to up top. Let's start with João Pedro. Obviously, Brighton winning 4-1 on the weekend. And João Pedro, again, similar to Mbeumo, but I think João Pedro's one was a bit worse. Misses an absolute sitter. He just scuffs it. Like, he gets the ball is cut back from the right-hand side. And João Pedro should score, but he kind of makes a meal of it. And then, unfortunately, obviously the chance is squandered. However, he does go on, as I mentioned, during pre-season, João Pedro is now the penalty taker. And that's why I try to have as many penalty takers in my team, like with the likes of Mbeumo and Pedro, both netting me penalties. And João Pedro comes away with 7 points. And yeah, very happy to see him converting that. And at 5.5 million, being Brighton's penalty taker, that's very good value for money. So he's in the team. I'm quite happy I went with him in the end because I was going to go Watkins. But yeah, Pedro looks to be decent value for now, but we'll have to see if he can carry it on as well for the rest of the coming weeks. Finally, the machine, and that is Haaland. Is anyone really surprised what he did? It only took him 3 minutes, and he goes and scores against Burnley. Good goal, poacher's goal sort of, and then the second goal was a brilliant one. Obviously, he gets the ball, curls it into the top corner. Yeah, that's Haaland. He's just deadly, isn't he? He's my captain, obviously, so 26 points. I was never going to captain anyone else, really. I know Saka. Some people went Saka, wasn't too bad, but obviously Haaland is the top scorer this week for me in my team, so very happy I went with him. And that is pretty much how the team has gone, guys. And on the bench, Turner, 2 points. Reece James, I do have him on the bench. Obviously, he looks like he's injured as well, which isn't a surprise because I think he went off near the end. And you did mention this a lot, Jordan, that the thing with Reece James, he always is a worry in terms of injury, but Chelsea fans must be so frustrated with Reece James and even Chilwell because they're really good players, but they just seem to get knocks and niggles every single time. And I'm hoping Reece James is fine, but it is a slight worry that he went off the pitch again in the first game of the season. But I can't say I'm surprised. I knew what the risk was, so we'll hope and see. Hopefully he's fine. And then the rest of the bench, Kabore at Luton, obviously the 1-pointer, losing the clean sheet, and Mubama as well with the 0 points. So that leaves me with a game week points, game week 1 so far of 72, and I still have Bruno and Rashford to play. So could be a nice score. Obviously, overall rank doesn't really matter at this stage. I don't think it's important. My one's sitting at 700k, but to be fair, I don't start looking at the overall rank till about game week 10. So as of now, I think all that matters, is the team looking good. We've had a decent game week, 72 points. I'm very happy with the score so far. And again, Bruno Rashford at Wolves at home. Hopefully they can do the business. And yeah, that's the team so far. Let me know how you guys have done in the comments as well. If you are joining and if you are watching for the first time, please make sure you do smash a like button for us. And also make sure you are subscribed to the channel. A lot of content to come ahead of the season. So yeah, like, subscribe, share the videos if you can on your socials, guys. It always helps us out. So yeah, Krogsberg, 74 points here. Nice return so far.
Very good.
We've got Brian as well in the chat. Hi lads, 66 points for me with Shaw, Bruno, and Rashford left. again, nice score. Let's move on to your team, Jordan, and just talk us through how your game week has gone. You happy with your game week, etc., or what you make of
Yeah,
it?
yeah. I mean, I'm pretty happy how the game week has gone. Let's kick it off with the goalkeeper, who is Edison, and thankfully, Edison does keep a clean sheet in his first fixture, which was against Burnley. Man City did win 3-0 in that easy victory. There was moments in that match where Man City were a little bit poor on the ball and sometimes a bit wary on passing it at the back, but nonetheless, Edison did keep a clean sheet, and yeah, it was nice to see him now a bit more clinical in terms of his clean sheets. Hopefully, he can keep that up, and yeah, he got 6 points for that. Moving on to the defense, so we'll start off with Estupinian, who got his 7 points. Yeah, he got the assist. He did get a yellow card, but despite him getting a yellow card, he still got the bonus 3 points in that 4-1 victory over Luton. Now, I was a bit annoyed that Brighton couldn't keep a clean sheet against Luton, because obviously they did have a penalty, I think, in that match, so they did score from that penalty. But it was a nice result from Estupinian, as expected. I mean, a lot of us do have him in the team. He's over 50% owned, and this is the reason why he is that highly owned, because he is capable of getting those attacking returns, if not a clean sheet. So, yeah, I'm happy with the 7 points from Estupinian. Obviously, Luke Shaw, he plays against Wolves Monday, so we won't know what happens with him. So I'll move on to Trent, who is my last defender in the back three. I was disappointed and a bit annoyed because Trent made a lovely assist to Salah, but because Salah was offside, obviously that didn't count. So I think Trent missed out on an assist there. And also, Liverpool did concede to Chelsea. It was 1-1 in that thrilling game. I quite enjoyed that game. That was really good. And I think also Trent got a yellow card, so that only left him with 1 point at the end of that. So a bit frustrating that Trent couldn't get an attack and return from that game because of the offside. But I think the next fixture against Bournemouth may provide more in terms of Trent, because that one was going to be a difficult game, I think. And Chelsea did play really well against Liverpool. Moving on to the midfield, we'll start off with obviously Matoma, who got his 5 points. He got 1 assist. He did get a yellow card, but he did get a bonus 1 as well from that 4-1 win over Luton. So no goals for Matoma, but he's still on the sheet for assist. So yeah, a pretty good start from Matoma despite not scoring in that opening fixture against Luton. But yeah, still nice that he got the 5 points from that game. Obviously, Bruno Fernandes plays against Wolves at home, so we won't see what happens with him. But we'll go to Mbeumo, who does get his 7 points. So this is majority reason why I did pick Mbeumo. Obviously, he is the penalty taker in Tony's absence, and this is why it pays off bringing in these penalty takers, because obviously Brentford did have a penalty in that 2-2 draw against Tottenham, and obviously Mbeumo scored it, which gave him the 5 points, and obviously his minutes played. So 7 points for Mbeumo, and yeah, a nice start for him scoring that penalty, and yeah, a nice result in the midfield for my team. Moving on to Saka, who was my only Arsenal player I went with against, obviously in that Nottingham Forest game, where Arsenal did win 2-1. I did say, I think I also predicted the right score in the deadline stream of 2-1. So I'm quite chuffed I got that, obviously that score correct. But I did expect Nottingham Forest to score in that fixture. I didn't think Arsenal would keep a clean sheet. And I think the goal was actually from Awani as well, who did come off from the bench too. So yeah, it's quite surprised I saw him on the bench to begin with, because I feel like he wouldn't have made a massive impact if he started. But yeah, 2-1 win in Arsenal. Obviously, Saka scored the goal and got a bonus 3 from that as well. So yeah, a nice 10-pointer from Saka. And yeah, his ownership puts forward why obviously we have him in team. He's over 60%. So yeah, nice return for Saka in the first opening fixture for Arsenal. And finally, we got Foden, who was my Man City midfielder that I did pick as like a little punt to go on as a differential. Unfortunately, it didn't really pay off. There was chances where Foden could have potentially scored. I think he had 2 good really chances, but it wasn't to be for Foden, and obviously he ended off with getting 3 points. He did play 90-minute football though, which was nice to see, but all he got from that was obviously the 1 point for the clean sheet and the minutes he did play in that 3-0 win over Burnley. And moving on to the forward line, so we got Nicholas Jackson, who I did watch the match earlier on, and I thought it was pretty good. I was really impressed pretty much from every Chelsea player on the pitch in that game. I thought they gave Liverpool a really good game. I think Liverpool started off really well, but Chelsea grew into the game, and obviously they gave him a bit of trouble. But yeah, Jackson only got 1 point. He did get a yellow card. So yeah, nothing much from Jackson. He did have a few good chances to score. He had a really good one where he just knocked it over the top of the goal, which was a bit unfortunate. I think if he was a bit more clinical, he could have potentially scored in that game. But it was a tough fixture, I think, for him. Obviously, against Liverpool, it's not easy to win or even get a draw against Liverpool. So I think that's a nice result, I think, for Chelsea. But yeah, there's always easier fixtures to come on for Chelsea. Obviously, they play, I think, West Ham next. So hopefully they can, obviously Jackson can do a bit more in that game. And finally, we've got Haaland, who is the captaincy pick. There's not much to say about Haaland because we all knew this was going to be. Obviously, he scored 2 goals and he did get a bonus 3 on top of that. So yeah, he didn't even play 90-minute football. He came off, I think, in near the 80th minute. So yeah, nice return for Haaland. No hat-trick for him though in that 3-0 win, but yeah, a nice comfortable 2 goals and a bonus 3 to start the game week off, and getting the captaincy right is what matters most. So yeah, that's pretty much how my starting 11 has went. The bench is pretty quiet. Got Areola, who got his 3 points. I think he made 4 saves, so you did get 1 point from that. In that 1-1 win, 1-1 draw, against obviously Bournemouth. Botman, he did get an assist in that massive 5-1 win over Aston Villa. But he did get a yellow card, but he still got a bonus 1, which I'm surprised about. Obviously, you got James Hill. Obviously, he only played like 15 minutes, I think, because he came on the pitch, and Mobama didn't play any minutes for West Ham in that 1-1 draw against Bournemouth. So, yeah, overall, that's pretty much how my starting 11 and obviously how the bench has gone. And yeah, overall rank, I guess it doesn't really matter much, as Huss did mention. It's early days. I'm currently 1.8 million in overall rank, but I did get 66 points with still 2 left to play, which is Shaw and Bruno Fernandes, who do play tomorrow against Wolves at home. So hopefully I can get a little bit more points to equalise on the 66 points I have already in game week 1.
Okay, nice one. So yeah, that's pretty much how it's gone so far. Obviously, there's still 1 fixture left for game week 1, and we're going to see how Man United do tomorrow in that fixture against Wolves. So yeah, let us know how you guys have done. Obviously, a few of you have commented with your scores. Get your scores in. We'll read a few of you out. We've got Derek, who says, "Hi guys, 65 with 3 United players left to play." Roku, 69 points so far. 2 players yet to play, Rashford and Onana. Tricky Trees, 76 with Rashford left to play. NH, I swapped Madison to Foden last minute. Damn. Ooh, that is because did Madison get 2 assists? He got. I'm pretty sure it was 2 assists.
I know he got 1 assist, but
yeah, he definitely got 1, obviously for the first one. But I think he got 2 assists. Let me know if that's correct. If you got 2, or is it just a 1 assist? Hopefully Gabriel starts next game. Already used my transfer to get Diaby for Eze. Don't want to take a hit early. Yeah, we're going to discuss Gabriel. I think that is a major talking point. I think. Obviously, I am a Gabriel owner, and Yeah, he does slightly worry me. The fact that Arteta didn't play him, and there could be some rotation going into game week 2. And my first bench player is also Reece James, and as we know, Reece James could also be injured potentially. So I might have to do the Gabriel to Saliba switch, which I'll have to think about, because obviously I don't want Gabriel's price to drop to 4.9 and then Saliba's to go up to 5.1. I don't really want to get the price drop that quickly, but I'm going to be looking out on the price drops. If I think I need to do it, I might do Gabriel to Saliba, but it's not one I really want to do. But again, I need to see what happens to Reece James, because if Reece James is fit for that second game against West Ham, I could just play double Chelsea defense, Reece James and Chilwell, and I'll be more than happy to play that in game week 2. So that's one to watch, I think, Reece James owners. But yeah, I think we will discuss game week 2. I want to pull up my team from game week 2 actually. So I'm just going to get the website up. Hold on. Yep. Bear with me for a sec, guys, while I just pull up my team.
NH99 says yes, he did get 2 assists, Maddison.
Yeah.
On that match. Yeah, so it's very annoying to switch from Maddison to Foden last minute. It's very unfortunate.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully you guys can see that. I might zoom in a bit more actually. Hold on. Yeah, hopefully you guys can see that quite well. Got a comment coming in from Derek. I switched to Saliba last minute on deadline. Yeah, I wish I did now. I didn't really see. I did see someone say it, but I didn't know how true it was. And then they ended up saying it was Gabriel Jesus or something like that. I can't remember. Henry Shaw, hi lads, 64 points with Bruno, Rashford, and Onana left. Nice going.
Yeah, that slightly scares me because I don't have Rashford. And
yeah,
I know a lot of people do have Rashford, so if he does get something from that game, it's going to be very damaging, I think, for me.
Yeah, Rashford is. I didn't realize you didn't have Rashford, to be fair. But yeah, I'll just read you guys out what I'm looking like for game week 2 so far. I've got Pickford, who's got Aston Villa away, or I've got Turner, who's got Sheffield. Now, I may just play Turner. Probably will play Turner, but we'll have to see. Turner could definitely play at home as well. I might just go with him. Back 3, again, I've got Gabriel, who's got Palace away. Whether he starts again is a slight worry. If Gabriel, after that benching, I'm going to wait and see if Arteta says anything midweek or in his presser. I'm just hoping that price drop doesn't happen. So one to watch. I've got Ben Chilwell again. I thought he looked good today. He was getting into attacking areas. He got the assist, obviously. He also scored. It was offside. But, yeah, I thought he played well, and I'm happy to own him against West Ham, who I think he could get something in that game as well. And then after that, his fixtures do turn a bit nice. So, yeah, hopefully Chilwell against West Ham could be nice. Estupiñán's got Wolves. I think that's a good fixture for him. We'll see how Wolves do tomorrow. Again, midfield 5. Rashford has Tottenham, as well as Bruno. Tottenham away. I think Tottenham did look open at times this today, obviously conceding 2 goals. So Man United should put a couple past Tottenham as well. It could be one of those games where both teams score. And Mbeumo has Fulham. I think that's fine. I think Saka and Martinelli, Palace away. I think that's fine as well. Should see some goals. And then Haaland's got Newcastle at home. So Newcastle look really good. A lot of us went into this game week, this season with no Newcastle players. Like, a lot of us don't have Newcastle, and they ended up putting 5 past Villa. So maybe we are sleeping on Newcastle. I want to get your thoughts on Newcastle. Obviously, putting 5 past Villa. Isak looking good. I want to know if everyone's going to captain Haaland against Newcastle, or if you are a Salah owner, I should say, are you in a position where, now, if you're a Salah owner, surely you have to captain Salah at home to Bournemouth. Or I want to get your thoughts, Jordan. Are you going to go Haaland or are you going to go someone else? Like Saka against Palace could be tempting, but with Haaland, he's that good. You just don't know. You can easily get a brace against Newcastle as well. And obviously, I've got João Pedro, who's got Wolves away. And then on the bench, James is there. So I could play James if I feel like Gabriel is going to miss out. Kabore, obviously, Luton have a blank game week. And then Archer, obviously, just on the bench. And then, yeah, that's what my team looks like heading into game week 2. I've got one free transfer, and I also have a cool 2 million in the bank. So I do have some money that I can make upgrades, and I'm quite happy I left a decent amount in the bank. So that allows me to be flexible and make some changes if I need to. I'll let you bring your team up, Jordan, as well, next, and just quickly go through what your team looks like. But in terms of early transfers, what I'm currently thinking, I would have rolled because I'm pretty happy with the way my team looks. I don't feel like I need to make many changes. It's just I am worried about the Gabriel situation. If I'm going to make one, it could be Gabriel to Saliba, or I could just start Reece James if he's fit. But I'm worried that Reece James might not be. But again, I haven't seen the news. I haven't seen any post match comments regarding Reece James. If anyone has in the chat, let us know. Is Reece James fine? I've not really seen anything, but yeah. What's your team looking like, Jordan, for game week 2?
Yes, I'll just bring it up right now. Okay, hopefully you can see that as well. So yeah, this is how my game week 2 looks like currently. So we've got Edison, who has Newcastle at home. I'm actually dreading Edison getting a clean sheet in that, considering how devastating Newcastle look. But we'll see. At the back three, we've got Estepinian, he's got Wolves away. Shaw's got Tottenham away. Trent, he's got Bournemouth at home, which looks nice for Liverpool at Anfield. In the midfield, we got Mbeumo, he's got Fulham away. Matoma, he's got Wolves away. Fernandez, who's got Tottenham away. Saka, who's got Crystal Palace away. And Foden, who's got Newcastle at home. And up front, we've got the two forwards, Jackson, who's got West Ham away, and Haaland, who's got Newcastle at home. Now, just bringing back that question earlier about captaincy, I'm still set on Haaland captain, despite him having Newcastle at home. I just think it is too scary to go non-Haaland captain, just because of how dangerous he can be. I mean, he's shown that against Burnley. I mean, even though Burnley are newly promoted and easier team to face, I think still with Newcastle, I don't know if they can stop Haaland, but yeah, it will be an interesting one to see if Newcastle can control Haaland in that game and stop him from scoring. But I think I'm still going to captain Haaland regardless of other fixtures, which may look more obviously tasty. Like obviously Salah having Bournemouth at home. I don't own Salah, but I know other people may be tempted to go there. It does bring back a very horrible memory of last season where I think we did captain Salah against Bournemouth last season where they won 9-0 and Salah didn't score any of those goals. So yeah, daunting thought, but yeah, I'm still think I'll go captain Haaland regardless.
I might do a poll. I might do a little poll in the chat actually. Who are we captaining next week? Because Haaland's got Newcastle, and I know it's a home fixture, so you probably will still back Haaland, but I think there will be some people that we go in for Saka or an Arsenal player. And even if those Salah owners, if you've got Salah, me personally, if I had Salah and I took that punt at the start of the season going with Salah, I would 100% captain Salah if I had him. But I'll be interested to hear your thoughts, guys. Let us know. I'm going to put a poll up, actually. I should remember how to do one. Done one in a while. Start a poll. Yep.
And yeah, that's pretty much the starting 11 for my team. And on the bench, got Areola, who's got Chelsea at home. May I be tempted to swap the goalkeepers out? Maybe, but I do expect Chelsea to score against West Ham. But Botman, first player on the bench, he's got Man City away, not the most favoured one to come off the bench. We've got Hill, he's got Liverpool away, and Mobama's got Chelsea at home. So not a very exciting bench, obviously, but it's there in case anything happens, obviously, to anyone in the starting 11, so Botman can come on. I don't think Newcastle will keep a clean sheet, but you never know, Botman could get another attacking turn.
Mm-hmm. Okay, guys, if you want to vote in the poll, I've put it in actually. So I'll put in a poll. Who was your Game Week 2 captain? I've put Haaland is an option, Saka and Salah are the options. So, and I put also other. So make sure you guys vote. And also, if you are enjoying the content, please don't forget to smash the like button for us. And also make sure you are subscribed to the YouTube channel. Obviously, we are trying to hit that 1,000 subscriber mark next, and we are quite close. So if we can hit the 1,000 subscribers, that would be very nice. Also, if you share the video, that would be appreciated as well. What's people's thoughts on playing Turner next week instead of Onana? See, Onana has Tottenham next week, so obviously a tougher fixture on paper. And Turner obviously has who was it again? Turner has Sheffield. Who would you play, Jordan? Would you play the Man United goalie against Spurs? Or, I mean, I could see why people would consider playing Turner against Sheffield at home.
Yeah, I think I'd be convinced to go with Turner at home against Sheffield United. I mean, it's a newly promoted team, and yeah, I think I see a clean sheet potentially there. I think I see a more clean sheet there than I do with Man United one. I don't think in that fixture you'll get a clean sheet for Tottenham. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think I would be convinced to go with Turner.
Yeah, interesting. We'll have to wait and see, obviously, how Man United do tomorrow. If they look really solid defensively and they look good, then maybe you can play Onana still. But yeah, I do see the point. If Turner was the 4 million starting goalkeeper, he is tempting to start him in that fixture. Is Chilwell the best Stones replacement? So I like Chilwell.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if a lot of people saw in that match, but at a certain point near the end, Chilwell looked a bit leggy, and that gave him a bit of worries whether he is soon going to be an injury issue, but not so much yet. But honestly, I don't think Chilwell is the best replacement just because he is injury prone, and near the end of that match, he did look a bit leggy, if I would say.
Yeah, for me, I like Chilwell because the fixtures. He's got a lot of green fixtures coming up, and you could just take a look on the screen. Hopefully, you guys can see that. I'll just zoom in a bit more. So again, West Ham next up in Game Week 2. I think that's a good fixture for Chelsea and Ben Chilwell, especially the way Chelsea looked today against Liverpool. I would be backing them against these teams. You know, Luton at home. You know, that's a great game, I think, for Chelsea. Obviously, if they can keep up the standards they showed today, Forest in Game Week 4, Bournemouth in Game Week 5. You know, I would want Chelsea players for these fixtures. And I think Ben Chilwell and Reece James are great options. Obviously, Reece James fitness permitting. So yeah, I like Chelsea. I've got double defense. I think Ben Chilwell just showed today what he's capable of. He's got a goal, or I know he was offside, and got the assist as well. He's got good delivery. So yeah, I think Chilwell is a good replacement. Stones, slight worry. Him getting benched. Sorry, he wasn't benched, was he? He was left out, I think, of the squad completely.
Yeah, he wasn't on the lineup for the bench.
Yeah, so is he injured? I mean, I'm not seeing much in terms of what the situation with John Stones, but it does worry me. But again, I think you got to wait and for the Pep presser and see what he says. If he says, you know, Stones is fine, he was just a little knock or whatever it is, then you could just hold Stones. But Man City's defense situation, yeah, it is a slight worry because they've got a lot of defenders now. Obviously, they brought Vardiol in as well, and Vardiol is going to get minutes. Ake, Kanji, there's a lot of them there. Even Arsenal, I think, are in a similar situation, especially when the Champions League kicks in. Gabriel might be a risk now, as we've seen. They can play Timber. Obviously, Timber went off injured actually in the Arsenal match. So does that make Gabriel now fine and safe for the next game? I don't know. I'm not too sure, but that's one to consider, that Gabriel could actually come back into the lineup next game because Arsenal don't really have anyone else. Obviously, they've got Kiwior, but I don't think he's going to start ahead of Gabriel. They've got, it looks like Kieran Tierney's off. He's going to go. So, yeah, that's what I'm looking at right now. I think Ben Chilwell, yeah, I do like Chelsea, guys. But yeah, let us know what you guys are planning in terms of your moves. But right now, I think rolling could be the smart play for me. It's just sort of frustrating that Gabriel situation. I don't really want to drop in price like that. 0.1 is still. I don't really want to have that this early. I do think so. Michael, he looked very good in the Liverpool game. Could have had a double-digit haul. Yeah, I mean that's Derek's comment in regards to Chilwell. Yeah, he could have easily had a double-digit haul. I thought it was good. And let's go back to the poll. So currently, if you haven't voted, guys, get your votes in. So 60% have voted Salah as their captain. I didn't realize there's that many of you that own Salah. And 40% or 55% now, it's nearly 50-50 sort of Haaland and Salah. So, I mean, where I'd be going with it, if I had Salah, 100% making my captain, because if you ain't going to do it now, then what's the point kind of having Salah in your team anyway, in my opinion? You rather just went without Salah. I mean, I think you went Salah to chase these moments. I thought Salah was really good in that first half in terms of he got that lovely assist for Diaz. Salah also hit the crossbar with that right foot, but he was a bit unlucky, hit the crossbar, and then he also had a goal just marginally offside as well. So Salah did look sharp, I thought you might punish me, but obviously ended up with just the one assist. So against Bournemouth, Liverpool at Anfield at home, I do expect Salah to do well. So I'll definitely be captaining him. But yeah, obviously I've not got him, so I'm going to go Haaland, I think. Saka looked good as well. But
yeah,
I'm not
really
sure.
Nice goal.
Yeah, he did. Going back to your team then, what's your early thoughts in regards to a transfer? Or are you thinking just rolling, or have you got any plans?
Yeah, I think I've got plans for Foden. I think I might take him out for someone else in the midfield. Even though I quite like Foden, obviously rotation and whatnot may play a factor, even though we thought Foden would be more nailed from the midfielders leaving Man City. But it's also the fixture as well. Man City have Newcastle at home. It's a tough one. And I don't know whether Foden starts or not. If I see that Foden does in a league, then maybe I keep him and then potentially I do roll. But I think it all depends if Foden starts in that game against Newcastle or not, that I either roll or use a transfer to take him out. I've not really thought about who I would replace him with though. So I will have to think about it a bit more near the time, who I do take him out for, if that does happen.
Have you thought about, I mean, you're not thought about too much about Foden, I guess, but like early thoughts, if you had to give a couple of names, who you like the look of?
I did like the look of Diaby.
At Villa.
Yeah, he played really well in that event, despite them losing horribly. I still think he did really well. He was definitely had a nice goal. He's really quick as well. It's hard for defenders to actually keep up with him. He's very rapid and dangerous on the ball. And I pretty much liked him in every aspect, even though Aston Villa did lose 5-1 to Newcastle. I still think regardless, he is a good player to have just because of his form that he did show in that. And obviously scoring that debut goal is a massive boost to him as well.
Yeah, I think Diaby looks like a very good player. I think he's an excellent signing for Aston Villa. Obviously, Aston Villa playing against quite a strong Newcastle team. I think a lot of people expected that because a lot of people thought it might be a tight game with the way Villa recruited. But we saw Villa a couple of injuries, very very bad news, and very tough to see. Obviously with Tyrone Mings, very unfortunate. obviously, it looks like he's done his ACL and he will be out probably for the season now. I think Buendia as well, he could be out for a very long time. So Aston Villa do have some key injuries, and it's going to be interesting, obviously, to see who they replace him with. It looks like Pau Torres is coming, he's a decent centre back, but obviously they're going to be a big miss. So we'll have to see how that changes the dynamic of Aston Villa. But yes, one to watch, Diaby. I think he's a good player. In regards to other players that have stood out, obviously Maddison. Have you thought about him? 2 assists. Actually, a comment comes in straight away. I'll pull this up, and I believe this is the first super chat of our. I believe this is the first super chat of the channel. So, thank you to you, Chief, for the super chat. Yeah, we'll read your question now. So, what do you think of bringing in Maddison soon? Obviously, Maddison, I was literally going to mention him, and Chief, bang on time. So, yeah, Maddison, 2 assists. I think he's going to actually be quite important to Spurs. I think, obviously, Harry Kane's gone. That's official. And Spurs look like they're going to rely on his creativity this season. I think he might be one of their main men that step up if Spurs are, to get goals and assists. So, have you thought about him?
Yeah, he was actually the second one I was going to mention out of that Tottenham game in that 2-2 draw. Yeah, he played a massive key part in those 2 goals, obviously assisting both of them. And yeah, I think Maddison has fitted in well for Tottenham. It's felt like he's played there for a while. He seems to have just comfortably fit into that position in the midfield and obviously feeding those balls to the forward lines. And yeah, I liked him in that game. I think he was really good. I kind of contemplated bringing in Maddison in my first game week, but I think at one point I did have him, but I took him out. But I should have kept him in at 7.5 as well. He does beat the bracket of the 8.5 million midfielders, so he could be a decent value for money player to go for in terms of assists as well.
Yeah, we're looking at Maddison obviously coming away with a 9-pointer, I think, today. 2 assists, and 7.5 million, I think his price is right now. So yeah, he's in that bracket, obviously the Foden bracket, so you can easily switch him. And you take a look at his fixtures. Man United next. Okay, that could be a tough one for Spurs, but I wouldn't be surprised if Spurs do put a goal past Man United. After that, the fixtures look decent. That 3 in a row: Bournemouth, Burnley, and Sheffield. That's the 3 newly promoted teams in a row. Sorry, not Bournemouth, but you get my point. Like Burnley, Sheffield, newly promoted, and then Bournemouth as well is an easier fixture. So yeah, the 3 greens. I do like those games, and I wouldn't mind taking a punt possibly on a Maddison. After that, it gets a bit tough. Obviously, back-to-back Arsenal and Liverpool. But then again, Luton, Fulham, Palace after that. So another 3, green fixtures after that. So Maddison, he's looking good. And I think he's going to be a key component of this new attack with no Harry Kane. I think Spurs are going to look at Maddison like being this main provider now of goals. But yeah, thanks for the super chat, Chief. If anyone's got any other as well comments, normal comments as well, drop them in. We'll read it. We'll try to read every comment now anyway. But yeah, game week 1, I think it's gone pretty well so far. If I'm being honest, I'm pretty happy with how it's gone. It could have been better. Obviously, can't complain too much. But Gabriel's situation is the only one really that's a downside on my team. Hopefully, James is nothing serious. But yeah, there's been a lot of like positives. I think this game week 1, a lot of debut, first debuts for a lot of players. Scoring like Diaby scoring on his debut. You've got João Pedro scoring on his debut. There's a couple more, wasn't there, as well that did score. So yeah, it's good to see.
I think that Disasi, if I'm saying
Disasi, yeah, he scored debut goal. Obviously defender, but still. But yeah, game week 2 is it a Friday deadline as well, isn't it?
It is a Friday deadline, which is, I think I prefer the Friday deadlines. And that's at 6:15.
Yeah, 6:15 deadline. So we'll be going probably 5 o'clock on Friday to the deadline stream. So make sure you do join us on that one. Should be good. But yeah, anything else you think we will need to touch on in regards to this game week?
Maybe one more thing about Newcastle one and their 5-1 win. I think that one was an unexpected one. But obviously, I think because of downfall Tyrone Mings, I think that's when the game went even further down the road for obviously Aston Villa. But we saw a lot of goal scorers in that game. We've got Tonali, we've got Harvey Barnes, and obviously Isaac, and even Callum Wilson, who came on, I think, and scored. So yeah, there's a lot of Newcastle players that have shown quality from that game that are goal scorers, especially Harvey Barnes being newly transferred into Newcastle and scored already for them.
Yeah, also on Harvey Barnes, obviously we know he did score for Newcastle yesterday. He came away with a lovely 11-pointer, goal and an assist. He only played 22 minutes as well, so he didn't actually start. He came on and done this. So he's one to definitely keep an eye on. However, one thing to stress, possibly, whether it depends whether you how much you rate Newcastle. They've got Man City next. So do you want to bring a player in from Newcastle with Man City next? Maybe not. And after that is Liverpool, which is a red fixture. But the way Newcastle are playing, you can see them scoring against Man City and Liverpool, so you could take a punt on some of their players, but I'd probably wait. But then after that, Brighton, Brentford. So the start, we know a lot of us have avoided Newcastle players from the start due to the fixtures, really. But once it turns good again from game week 6 on paper, a lot of more greens. Sheffield, Burnley, West Ham, Palace, Wolves. You probably want to have at least a Newcastle player in your team. And Harvey Barnes, if he becomes an option, if he can get nailed down on that starting spot, he can be a good option. Obviously, Tonali scored as well. New signing, another debut player getting a goal. Isak's the one, I think. Whoever went with Isak, congrats. 13 points from him, 2 goals as well. Same as Haaland. Obviously, he looked good. He's a top player. We know he is. And he's got City and Liverpool coming up next. So we're probably going to see how he does in those games. If he looks good against City again, I think, at 7.5 million as well, a lot of us have the money to bring him in, at that price bracket we're looking at. There's a lot of strikers around that price point. So yeah, I am looking at Isak. But I think I'm going to wait and see how he does against City. Fatality 79 with Rashford to go. Do we captain Salah next week? I've already answered this question. I think if you have Salah and you've decided to bring him in, I think you have to captain him, or there was no point you bringing in Salah from game week 1 anyway. You rather have just got Haaland and gone that way. So yeah, if you've got Salah, for me, I would 100% be captaining him. But that's just my opinion. I am going to that game as well next week. Next Saturday, Liverpool, Bournemouth. I will be there. So yeah, let's hope Salah does score, obviously, but not too much. Obviously, I don't have him, so it'll be. But yeah, I can't wait for that one. Poch said after the game that Reece James was tired, not injured, from Roman Jarvis. Thank you for that comment. I wasn't aware. So yeah, it looks like Reece James is fit, guys. So if he looks fine, I think he could be a good move. But again, always that worry with Reece James. But that's the risk I think you got to take sometimes, because you know what he can do when he does play. So should be fine. Harvey Barnes will have a field day against Trent, says Roman Jarvis. Could do. I mean, Liverpool's defense. We spoke about Liverpool. They still today they looked open, especially in that second half. Defensively, they still won't there, in my opinion. And I think a lot of that is still down to personnel. I think Liverpool need a number 6. They need a DM, and you saw Liverpool in the pursuit of trying to sign Caicedo. Obviously, Chelsea and Liverpool are trying to sign Caicedo. It looks like he's going to go Chelsea, and I expect Liverpool to buy a holding midfielder within the next 2 weeks before the window closes. So once Liverpool bring in that holding midfielder, I think they will be a lot stronger and more solid. And you even saw with Gakpo. I mean, Gakpo was pretty much playing out of position, really. He was playing as an 8. I don't think that's his best position, but Liverpool are in a situation where they have no one else to play, really. So I do think personnel is still that Liverpool system. They don't quite have the players to play it, and I think they need a couple of additions in the transfer window, but we'll see how they do at home against Bournemouth next week. Fatality says, nice us. Will you give us team news? If I hear anything, I will drop it in the Discord. So that's where we can chat. So if you guys do want to follow us on Discord, the code and the link, for the link to join our Discord server is actually in the description. So check the description. And if you want to come chat to us, about FPL, about anything really, you can join our Discord and you can chat to us on there. We're trying to build a community, so do check it out. It's pretty good over there, so check it out. And yeah, I think we're not going to keep the stream going on for too much longer. We'll probably wrap it up here, I think, unless anyone else got any final questions or in regards to Game Week 2. But we'll be back again. I think we're back Tuesday. We've got to do the buy-sell video, obviously talking about what players you should be looking to bring in ahead of Game Week 2. And that should be a good one. And then we're back Thursday for team selection. We're going to talk about our transfer plans. We're going to discuss captaincy, all that stuff. And then Friday is deadline again. So, yeah, probably going to wrap it up. Anything else you'd like to add, Jordan, before we go?
That's pretty much it, I think. But I just want to say thanks for everyone in the chat for your comments. It's always appreciated. And obviously to Chief for the super chat. Thanks for that. It's very, very nice of you. But yeah, hopefully you guys have enjoyed the football and are happy with your Game Week 1 opening fixtures that your team has played. So yeah, hopefully you enjoy the rest of your weekend and obviously take care and yeah, have a nice week ahead of you.
Yep. Hope everyone's had a good weekend. Enjoyed the whatever's left. We will see you guys again on Tuesday. But for now, take care and stay safe.